Well, this is my first video about Mark Dice. Who is Mark Dice? Well, he's, again, a conspiracy theorist who is very big on the Illuminati. Now, I've just watched his video about the Skull and Bones Society in Yale, which are basically, they're a fraternity that are not, they don't recruit, juniors, they recruit, seniors. What's wrong with that? Absolutely nothing. There is nothing wrong. There are many societies in universities throughout the country, throughout the world, who do that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And yet, apparently, to Mark Dice, this is, again, it's a conspiracy. So, and then he goes on to a plaque within the wall. And the plaque is in German. Again, he doesn't know if this is real or not. Again, however real or not it is, because it's supposedly from the File and Claw who broke in to their clubhouse and exposed the things. And basically, the motif is that it's 4 skulls, and the saying is, can you tell from these skulls who is the beggar, who is the wise man, and who is the king? And the answer underneath is, it doesn't matter because we are all equal in death. Now, Mark Dice goes to basically analyses this. Says, oh, these elites, it doesn't matter. They're all after money and power, so that's what they want in life. They're all after it. Well, no, that's just one interpretation. In fact, that's your interpretation. In fact, I interpret that as something, it doesn't matter about your position in life, it doesn't matter how wise, how powerful you are, there is nothing that separates you from the common beggar. There is nothing different from the king, the wise man, and the beggar. Because sooner or later you are all going to die, and it doesn't matter about any of your wealth or any of the power that you have, we are all equal in the fact that we will all die sooner or later. There's nothing wrong with that interpretation either. And yet Mark Dice goes, oh, vampires, vampires. And then he goes on to talk about, I think I'm going to pronounce it wrong, but I think it's John Robertson, who wrote a book back in 1798. Yes, 1798, because, again, no one has written anything recent, have they? Well, remember, this is back in 1798. Now let's look at the situation that is going on in Europe. The French Revolution is pretty much in full swing still. Now, this saying, when you take the saying that I've just said, all men are equal in death, regardless of, king, noble or commoner, are all equal. This, in French Revolution times, in Europe in particular, is absolutely terrifying to all members of society. No one wants the French Revolution to happen in their country. So this again, Mark Dice ignores this entirely, of the fact that this is what happened. This is what happened, and there were a number of societies throughout Europe that were found out and cracked down upon because they wanted to have their own version of the French Revolution in their own countries. Were they Illuminati? No. This was made up, but again, this comes back, again, the whole point, all this Illuminati stuff comes back to, again, being very anti-Jewish propaganda, which again is never brought up. This is what it was brought up to actually be, that there was a secret Jewish conspiracy and that the Illuminati were what they were calling themselves and they were trying to take over. Have they ever taken over? No. Don't think a group called the Illuminati ever will, or even bother to exist. So, and then he comes on to the last part, which is the best part, of, oh, they hired a Skull and Crossbones member for the Treasury. So, he was a member of a fraternity. And then he goes, and the first party George W. Bush ever had was with all his Skull and Crossbones buddies. I guarantee there were other people besides his, Skull and Crossbones buddies. I guarantee there were. And, you know, even if you was having a reunion, so what? People have reunions all the time. That proves nothing